If you're sick of hearing about Iowa, you can click this off right now. Wait, just a minute. Give me a chance here. Because I spent enough time in Des Moines to know about the importance of the Iowa caucuses. And, you've heard people complaining for years that by going first in the presidential process, Iowa is a state that is whiter and more rural than other states in the country. And on the Republican side, the electorate there, the people who trudge through the snow on a cold winter night to spend 3 hours with their neighbors, are much more conservative and in many cases more evangelical than typical GOP voters. And I bring this up now because the whole political community is chattering about a poll almost a year in advance of the Iowa caucuses, and yet, given our fixation on 2016, this can change the conversation. So Scott Walker, way ahead in this Quinnipiac poll, 25%, and he is more than double of the folks who come in next. Rand Paul, 13%. Mike Huckabee, Ben Carson, 11%. Jeb Bush at 10%. And then you've got people like Ted Cruz down at 5%. And trailing at 4%, Chris Christie and Marco Rubio. So does any of this matter? No, because in one sense, the lead will change hands 10, 12 times before we actually get around to the Iowa caucuses in early 2016. And what's more, if you look at the last two contests, the person who won Iowa, who then gets to be on the cover of Time and gets to be on every cable news segment for 23 hours a day, didn't end up coming close to winning the nomination. Rick Santorum in 2012, Mike Huckabee in 2008. But the only reason I think it is worth talking about is that these are very blurry snapshots, but they do tell us something about the process. And that is, we're looking at a very conservative electorate in Iowa. And so that candidates like Scott Walker, governor of Wisconsin, about whom a lot is not really known, I mean, certainly known to people who followed his career in the state and to journalists who cover him, but by and large, I don't think that many people around the country know that much about Scott Walker. That's why these polls are not only boosting him into the front-runner status, which is just the media's way of giving some order to this chaotic contest that has, 24, 25 candidates potentially, but also all the questions he's been getting lately about evolution and about his lack of a college degree and about does he think President Obama is a Christian. That's all a result of being anointed the Iowa front runner. And at the same time, if you look at the fact that Mike Huckabee and Santorum and Walker score very well on favorability among these Iowa caucus goers, the likely caucus goers according to this poll. And then you got people like Jeb Bush, who we in the media say is the favorite to win this nomination, is the establishment candidate, going to raise the most money and all that. Well, he's well back in the pack, and Iowa is a place that is known for tripping up front runners. You all remember 2008? Hillary Clinton losing Iowa to Barack Obama. Had that not happened, Barack Obama, I don't believe, would be president today. So, do we overplay Iowa? Yes. Are we obsessed with Iowa? Yes. Does Iowa have way too much importance, along with New Hampshire, in the presidential process? Yes, yes, and yes. But given where it is on the calendar, it can't be ignored. And the polls, these are ridiculously early polls, but even the polls about Iowa are having an impact.